You may have seen these old vintage posters occasionally online. They're called WPA posters, and that stands for Works Progress Administration. Now, there are over 900 of these posters available online, and you can get high quality free designs that are completely in the public domain, and that means that they're totally free and totally legal to use for any graphic design project, even selling them online. So let's go explore the bygone era of WPA posters. I love old vintage posters. And one of the problems you might run into is it's tough to find these collections. So this collection of 932 posters are sitting in the Library of Congress, but it can be a little bit tricky to find it. So the first thing I'm going to do is just show you how to locate it. So here's the Library of Congress's website. It's just loc.gov. And if you type into the search window on the right-hand side, WPA posters, you're going to get back some different results. And what you want to do is click on the first one, WPA posters. And then you're going to get this like search window back where there's a whole bunch of different things. And it's like, it's almost too much, right? It's like there's all these links on the left and there's all these things. There's events, there's collections. So what you want to look for is the collection of the WPA posters. So it's not necessarily the first result, but when I click on this collection of WPA posters, that will bring back the collection here. And you see featured content about this collection. Again, there's just like almost too much stuff, right? So I hate to complain about a free resource, but it's like, where's the actual collection? Here's the collection items at the top. If you click on the collection items, you'll see there's now 947 posters sitting in here. That's one way that you can access the collection. There's another way you can get there as well. So I'm going to start the same. It's going to be on the Library of Congress, which is loc.gov. I'll type in WPA posters, exact same as before. Now when I scroll down, I'm not going to click on this collection that we see here, but I'm going to click underneath. It's the web page, Posters, Prints, and Photographs division. And when I click on that, I'm going to get to this kind of like old looking web page. And it says searching in the collection, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to click this by the people, for the people, posters from the WPA, 1936 to 1943. And when I click on that, I'm going to get to another page in the Library of Congress. And I'm going to see there's searching, search this collection, there's about this collection. If you just want to see the actual collection, it's kind of buried right there. It's view all. And when I click on view all, I will see 932 results. So you may want to go in the first way, you may want to go in the second way, but either way, you're going to see over 900 pictures, which are old vintage illustrations. These are all completely public domain. And let's take a look at a few of them. This will be cool. If you're using this view on the Library of Congress, there's a couple different views you can see over on the right-hand side. There's grid, gallery, and list. If I click on list, that will just give me each individual item. If I click on gallery, that's kind of nice. It's like a little bit of a, bigger thumbnail. And then if I click on grid, that will get me the smaller view that I was looking at before. So I'm actually going to click on the gallery view and I'm going to scroll down. There's also pages as well. There's 932 results and they're split up into different pages. So you can go next page and you can scroll through with the little arrow buttons. The left arrow is just to the left of number 1 and the right arrow is just to the right of number 47. So if you find a picture that you like, you can just simply click on it and open it up and it'll give you a greater detailed view. I like to right click on it and just open in a new window. So I've just got a couple here that I've clicked on and opened up in a new window. This is pretty cool. This is an old theater poster. Now anything that I click on, it'll give me the digital ID, it'll give me the repository, and then it actually gives me a little about this item as well. So when you click on about this item, it will give you what it is. So here's the summary. Poster for Federal Theater Project presentation of The Devil Passes at the Lobero Theater, Santa Barbara, California, showing a hooded figure looming over an image of a man. And that's that poster there. So there's two reasons that I can think of that you would usually use a poster like this or download this image. One would be you just want to use the image as is, clean it up in Photoshop or some sort of graphic design software, and then you could just hang it in your house, you could sell it, you could have it as part of your project. The other thing is you would use this as reference if you were making your own type of poster in that style. So you could just download this image. I'm just right-clicking here and just clicking Save Image, and I can save it. And then I could use this as a template if I'm, having my own theater production and I wanted to use a similar style. Here's another one. This is the Mason Opera House is having a show about Dracula. You can see the prices there. Really swanky seats are 55 cents. And if you just want the cheap seats, those are 20 cents. And so that's kind of nice little graphic there. And again, I mean, this is an original, poster that sits in the Library of Congress. So the scans on them, they may require some cleanup in graphic software. This is a poster for the Grand Canyon National Park. And if you're wondering what the WPA was, it's like a government agency that did a lot of these propaganda posters, but they weren't just war propaganda. There was also like parks, health, community-minded things like that. So this is one of the WPA posters for the Grand Canyon. There's another travel poster here. These are quite popular. This is for Lassen Volcanic National Park. And these just look great as is. There's no reason that you have to necessarily try to modify it to any great extent. You could just, use this as a high quality copy, go to a print store like a Staples or a Walmart photo center, and you could get a nice high quality copy printed for your house. Or you could clean this up a tiny bit if you wanted in Photoshop, for example, and sell this if you want it as a high-end print. And there's a few businesses out there that do that. They sell these public domain prints and they've just made them a little bit more dynamic. So you could recolor this, for example, in Photoshop pretty easily if you wanted and have some variants. This is another one, Yellowstone National Park. Again, this is completely free. It's public domain. And what I like about it is that because it's on the Library of Congress's website, generally speaking, the Library of Congress's website has public domain images. But if you really want to see and make sure that it is, you just click on About This Item and you can scroll on down and you can see what the actual copyright is on this image. Here's the rights advisory, no known restrictions on publication. And that's pretty standard because for public domain photos, it means that they've fallen into the public domain, meaning the public owns them. Here's another theater poster, WPA Federal Theater presents It Can't Happen Here. The reason I would like this sort of a poster is you could remove the text and clean it up and you could just have it as a base design as well. Or again, you could use it as a template. I really like stencil work, simplistic, minimalistic designs. This is always good advice. This one says, keep your teeth clean. And again, you could use this as is, or you could remove the text at the top and the bottom, and then you could make your own bathroom poster based on this. This is a pretty simplistic design, but that's the beauty of it, is that these are, vintage, and somebody who's maybe a baby boomer would want to buy a poster like that for their house because it brings back memories maybe of when they were a kid. Here's another one. It says, don't mix them. This is whiskey and gasoline, and this is a public service poster that would have come out back in the day to obviously, discourage people from drinking and driving. Now, despite all my complaining about the Library of Congress and their website, they do have a cool thing over here. The second way you can search for it when you go into the Library of Congress's collections page, they've got filters along the left-hand side. So let's say you were really trying to drill down on a specific location. Like let's say you wanted to see Los Angeles, for example. I don't care about New York. I don't want to see Illinois. I can click on Los Angeles and that'll give me 64 results that are all specific to Los Angeles. So you're going to get a lot of like Hollywood posters, that sort of thing. I could also, go back up I could go back a level and I could say, I'm going to click on just the New York ones. And that will give me New York, like Broadway posters, could be like New York based artwork. This is a really nice one. I've seen this one before. This is the City of New York Municipal Airports. And what I really like about this design is that you could simply remove the text below and you could make another city using these airplanes. So it says City of New York Municipal Airports, but why not change it and say City of wherever you live Municipal Airports? And you could create 50 or 60 variants of this very easily. And then you could even have very specific things about the city, like maybe top attractions or the name of the airport. This is a great design because it's all the text is sitting on top of one color. So you could easily remove all of this down at the bottom. Now, if you want to download these, it's pretty easy to do so. There's a download option where you can click here on the lower left and you can say JPEG, JPEG, JPEG. Well, this is just a different quality of the three, the bigger the size. And there's also a TIFF option as well. So you've got a few different options. And then when you want to download it, you just click go, and then it will just give you the pretty high res photo or illustration. I really, really like this one. It's probably my favorite poster just because it's so versatile. You can change it and make it all, into any city you wanted. Here's another one that I like. This is Curing Juvenile Delinquency in the Slums. And it's, regardless of how you feel about the government of the United States or, any of this stuff, you can't argue with the quality of the print. I mean, it's pretty high quality. You can zoom in here with the little plus button and you can see here, Federal Art Project, USA Work WPA. There's like the nice little logos and stuff on here, which is kind of cool. So again, that's a common sort of trendy art print that you would have in your house because it's real, it's historical, and sometimes it looks a little bit antiquated and outdated, which is the whole point of having vintage art up in your house. Now I'm going to provide the links in the video description below, but if you're watching this on television and you don't want to grab the links, not a problem. You can just go into Google and you can type in WA poster collection and then it's Library of Congress. What'll happen is the first result that comes back will be that actual collection. I'm just going to click on the first result and that'll bring you to this main page that may look familiar. The hard part when you get to this page is there's so many links, it's buried right there underneath the search button, view all. And then when you view all, that's when the 932 results come up and then you can modify your views as needed. Remember, you've got multiple pages down at the bottom as well. There's actually 10 pages of posters here. So if you're scrolling through and you're not seeing what you're looking for, you can go to any individual page or just click the little arrow button and that will take you to page number 2 and so on and so on. Lots to see, hours and hours of old vintage, beautiful posters from the WPA. I hope you guys found that helpful. I love looking at old vintage stuff. As always, please do leave me a comment or a question. And thank you so much for watching.